What could possibly make a generally obedient and friendly dog always growl at someone who is not exactly a stranger? This was the thought that went through the minds of Benjamin and Hope Jordan when their big softie of a dog named Killian suddenly started growling and acting strange and even emotional. Whenever their babysitter was around, something was definitely wrong, and so they decided to hide security cameras all over the house. What they found out was so shocking that they immediately called the cops. What exactly did they find out, and why did they call the cops? Keep watching to find out. Benjamin and Hope Jordan are a normal couple who live happily in South Carolina with their 7-month-old son Fenn and their dog. Their dog, a black lab and German shepherd mix named Killian, was the gentlest and sweetest dog the couple had ever known, and the way he interacted with Fenn simply melted their hearts. He wasn't the most courageous dog, so he was never considered a guard dog, but he was an excellent companion for their son. The couple worked hard to provide for their family, and as their jobs became more demanding, they decided to hire a babysitter to look after Fenn whenever they were away. So the search for a responsible and dependable babysitter began. The Jordans searched extensively, and when a background check on 22-year-old Alexis Khan turned up clean, they were relieved that they had finally found someone who would care for their baby. If only they had known how things would turn out. Unfortunately, they had no idea, so they welcomed Alexis Khan into their home. At first, everything seemed fine. Alexis would come around whenever the couple left for work, babysit little Fenn, and then leave when they returned. One fateful evening when the couple returned from work, the babysitter informed them that if they didn't get Killian under control, she would quit. They were taken aback and had no idea what she was saying. She went on to say that Killian was always watching her and that whenever they left the house, Killian would start growling and barking. She also stated that he would stand in front of her whenever she was tending to Fenn, and that she was terrified for herself and little Fenn. Benjamin and Hope Jordan were completely taken aback by what their babysitter said. They didn't understand what was going on. Benjamin began to have doubts about Killian, but quickly reassured himself that Killian had always been a loyal companion to their son and would never hurt him. They tried to reassure the babysitter, but she soon complained about Killian again and again. The complaints were becoming too frequent, so Benjamin decided to consult with other pet owners. He was told that Killian was probably acting out because he didn't know Alexis. But that explanation didn't make sense because Killian didn't act out when Alexis began working. Others speculated that Killian was probably jealous of Fenn, but Fenn never complained about Killian. In fact, he was very quiet during this period. After a few months, the situation had spiraled out of control. Alexis claimed that their dog would become agitated and attack her if she even moved. The Jordans didn't want to go through the hassle of finding another babysitter, so Benjamin considered keeping Killian confined to the house while Alexis was present. But it was not a practical solution. While the couple was debating what to do, Hope Jordan had an epiphany. What if Killian was acting strangely around Alexis because something was off about her? Killian had always been loyal to them and their son, so it didn't make sense for him to suddenly change. Hope had a feeling something fishy was going on, so they decided to look into it. Benjamin decided to create a small hearing device that would allow them to listen on what was going on. So, before they left for work the next day, the device was attached to Finn's collar, underneath his hair. When they returned that evening, Alexis complained as usual and then left. The couple then removed Killian's listening device and listened to it. What they heard terrified them so much that Benjamin called the cops right away. The recording revealed that Alexis had been cursing and screaming at little Fenn. He started crying while Killian was heard growling in the background. Then they heard what sounded like slapping and shaking. Although the police listened intently and sympathized with the Jordans, they were skeptical that an audio recording would stand up in court. One of the police detectives later interviewed Alexis and obtained a full confession. She was sentenced to the maximum 3 years in prison, and her name was added to a registry of child abusers, barring her from ever working with children again. The Jordans were grateful to their dog Killian, and Benjamin regretted ever doubting him. Killian was hailed as a hero, and he's currently training to be a psychiatric service animal. Killian certainly proved himself to be a loyal and faithful friend to the Jordans. What do you think about this story? We'd love to hear from you, so please leave your thoughts in the section below. Have a lovely day for now, and we'll see you in the next one.